There's a lot of talk as well in the chat. People saying, can you ask about Jude Bellingham? A lot of Liverpool fans think they're getting Jude Bellingham this summer. What's your thoughts on that, Fraser? Jude Bellingham to Liverpool this summer?
Liverpool have broken their transfer model once. Inside Darwin Núñez. Jude Bellingham to Liverpool, it feels like destiny in a lot of ways. It's almost like every year he's becoming a bit like the Sancho was for Manchester United, and maybe eventually he'll pop up there. It's someone that Jurgen Klopp adores and would love. At this point in time, there's no talks between Liverpool and Dortmund over Jude Bellingham. That's not something that's happening. Like you said, though, a wee while to go in the window. Could be a last day of the thing, but I know Jurgen Klopp adores him. And I was at Ibrox watching Rangers v Borussia Dortmund, and it was the first time I'd seen Jude Bellingham live. And the guy is just. I know you guys will watch England and probably go to England games and watch a lot more of him than I have, but he's head and shoulders above everyone else on the pitch. Jude Bellingham's going to be £100 million player, and Liverpool have already spent, what was it, 70 on Núñez, so it's not likely to happen this summer unless they sell someone and break their model once again. But Liverpool don't seem to want to do that, even though Klopp absolutely adores him. So at this moment in time, no.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I kind of feel a little bit like the only way they would do it this summer is if something similar with Luis Diaz happened. So if out of nowhere another club, and I don't know who that would be this summer because I don't think he's got the money, went to Dortmund and made an unbelievable offer for Jude Bellingham and it was being considered, then maybe Liverpool will be like, right, maybe we're going to have to do something now because he's a long-term target. We could miss out on him. Of course, we know they wanted Tchouaméni, and they like everybody else lost out on him, and it becomes one of those things. But yeah, I don't see it happening this summer. If I was advising Jude Bellingham, I would say, honestly, don't do the move now. Stay where you are. Get your game down, make him even better, less pressure. You haven't got the British media on you. As soon as he comes back to England, like you know what it's like over here. The vultures will be out from the gutter press anyway. Not the nice places like the BBC where you work. But do you know what I mean? People will be out for him. They'll be gunning for him. And I just think that and I'm talking here as an England fan. I just want you to stay abroad. In fairness, it's something I would advocate. If my children are actually good enough to play professional football, I want them all to come up through academies of foreign clubs. I don't want them coming through in England. I'd rather them learn the continental game. Something about it I prefer, if that makes sense. And I feel like we've become better at that in the UK now. Like technically we have better footballers coming through. But I just stay in Germany, learn the game there, get a little bit older, then come back. Like that's what I'd like.
It's something players are willing to do now in the UK is spread their wings a little bit more. Brentford have just signed Aaron Hickey from Bologna as well for 18 million. Aaron Hickey was at Hearts and signed for Bologna for 1.5 million at 18 years old, flew out to a city in Italy, didn't know, so that he could play football in Serie A. And it's worked out well for him. He's now at Brentford. So, in my opinion, by the way, can I just say Brentford will make a huge profit in Aaron Hickey. I believe he'll go to the top 6 in the Premier League. But that's something players are willing to do. Sancho done it. Bellingham's done it. You've got more players, young players. Josh Doig's another young player in Scotland at Hibs who's going out to do it as well with Hellsborough. So, yeah, more players are willing to go out to learn, to play a different style, learn a different culture, then come back as a more molded player. And it's something that, with the football world being so connected and the world being so connected as it is now, it's something that you're going to see more and more of as well. And the guaranteed game time, that's another thing I should say. These clubs have time to develop their players. You know, they give them more opportunities. And I think that's something that feeds in. Bayern Munich, sorry to use Aaron Hickey as another example, but Bayern Munich wanted Aaron Hickey from Hearts. They were trying to buy him and he rejected them and chose Bologna simply because he knew he was going to play football. So that's part of the reason why you see more people doing that. Jude Bellingham will end up in England at some point. It's just more when than if.
Yeah, absolutely. What about the Holland Pep factor at City for Bellingham? Gundogan probably leaving next summer. I mean, City could sign him. I mean, City got the money, ain't they? You know, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that would happen.
I mean, listen, Jude Bellingham's an elite football player and will go to an elite club. He's at one in Dortmund, but yeah, I mean, Manchester City can absolutely sign Jude Bellingham. I mean, the problem is you're looking ahead to another transfer window we're not even through this one. But what I will say is Jurgen Klopp loves him. It would be my suspicion that he's got a contract until 2025 at the moment. So therefore, you've got a 3-year deal to try and pay off as well. I think you're more likely to see Jude Bellingham move next summer rather than this because of that. I don't think it'll be a January deal. And Liverpool for me are the favourites to go and get him. But like you said, mate, if Man City want to sign someone in the day and age we live in, they might just do that. And hey, you never know, Newcastle might slip into the European places and suddenly go, do you know what? We'll go buy Jude Bellingham. You never know. So
yeah, I mean, anything can happen. Listen, Man United might have a brilliant season. Getting back in the top four. No, I'm joking. I'm wishful thinking now.